Hello everyone, it's me again, MX Shu. It has been 3 months since the chairman of the third largest political party in Taiwan, Ko Wen-je, Ko P, was detained over a controversial graft case. It is alleged that as Taipei City Mayor, he was involved in a corrupt deal aimed at granting city construction permits to expand the floor area of a shopping mall in Taipei to the benefit of a property developer. Despite many of the mainstream media channels and commentators roasting him in the court of public opinion, fabricating all kinds of outlandish theories, die-hard Ko P supporters still believe he has been detained without plausible evidence and what's happened to him is blatant political persecution. A poll in September this year shows that 49.9% of Taiwanese do not trust the judicial system. And another poll in October shows that 59.4% of Taiwanese do not trust that the current legal system will enable fair trials and judgment for cases involving political figures. You may wonder why the people of Taiwan have such low trust in the legal system. Well, can you imagine that if in the United States, the entire bench of Supreme Court justices was nominated by the same political party, or even perhaps by the same president? And how would you feel if you could see obvious cases of media bias and inequitable treatment of underdog politicians and their associates? There are 15 justices in the Constitutional Court in Taiwan, and the justices are nominated by the President of Taiwan. Each justice can serve a maximum of 8 years after being appointed. Today, since the ruling party has been in office for more than 8 years, that means all 15 justices were nominated by the president of the same party, the DPP, short for Democratic Progressive Party. After years of constitutional revisions to how the legislature functions, the system of government in Taiwan is now very unbalanced. In the USA, there are checks and balances among the 3 branches of government. However, in Taiwan today, the president has direct influence over 4 out of the 5 branches. Earlier in May this year, the legislature in Taiwan passed a parliamentary reform bill, a bill that was advocated by the 3 major political parties in Taiwan, but only when they were not in office as the ruling party. A reasonable assumption why ruling parties have been resisting the reform bill is simply because they don't want opposition lawmakers to have greater scrutiny powers over the government. Shortly after the reform bill passed, the President of Taiwan, the Executive Yuan, and the DPP Party caucus jointly filed a petition for constitutional review to determine the constitutionality of the reform bill. And in late October, the Constitutional Court ruled some key elements of the reform bill unconstitutional. In short, the court found all of the penalties listed in the reform bill unconstitutional for the following circumstances, including but not limited to, 1. Penalties for government officials making false statements in Parliament, 2. Penalties for providing false documents, and 3. Penalties for defying a subpoena from a congressional committee. In other words, in Taiwan's parliament today, one can make false statements, provide false documents, and even defy a subpoena from the legislature without any legal standing in Taiwan's court system. Watch this video for more info about the reform bill drama. Here are a few examples of egregious cases illustrating the inequitable treatment of politicians in Taiwan's court system in recent years. Number 1. In regards to the embezzlement of taxpayer dollars allocated for office assistance, which is one of the most common forms of corruption that legislators and city/county councilors face charges for, here is one case to consider. Cho Yiling, member of the DPP/ruling party, served as a city councilor in New Taipei City, alleged to have embezzled $429,000 and received a suspended sentence of 3 years probation, or 8 months in prison. Cao Minhui, member of the DPP/ruling party, served as a city councilor in New Taipei City, alleged to have embezzled $352,800 and received a sentence of 2 years and 6 months in prison, time which could be served as a fine. And Cao, member of Taiwan People's Party, TPP/third largest party in Taiwan, served as legislator, alleged to have embezzled $3,600 and sentenced to 7 years and 4 months in prison with no opportunity for probation or conversion to a fine. And even more absurd, Ko's office assistant Wang was sentenced to 2 years in prison for an alleged embezzlement of $14. $14? Seriously? Number 2. In regards to allegations about corruption related to real estate developers, here is another case to think about. Chen Wen-san, member of the DPP/ruling party and former mayor of Taipei City. When $209,900 in cash of suspicious origin was found in his home during a police raid, after being held incommunicado for 48 days, Chen was released on bail without further investigation. Ko Wen-je, chairman of the TPP and former mayor of Taipei City. When no evidence of cash bribes were found during a police raid at his home or at the party headquarters office, he was detained and held incommunicado up to the present day. And here's a sad fact, the mainstream media has widely circulated photos of Ko Wen-je in handcuffs, whereas no photos of Chen in handcuffs can be found online or elsewhere. Since Ko Wen-je was detained on September 6, 2024, the DPP-leaning media in Taiwan has been bombarding audiences with fabrications. They allege that Ko Wen-je's wife has been laundering money for him using bank ATMs because she's been depositing money through ATMs regularly over the past several years. They also claim that Ko Wen-je has received 1,500 Bitcoin because prosecutors found a portable disk storing an electronic file showing an entry of 1,500 followed by the name of the real estate developer in question. Moreover, the DPP-leaning commentators are urging prosecutors to dig up the septic system at Ko Wen-je's residence because they allege that's where the cash bribes are stashed. No matter how ridiculous or illogical these crackpot theories may sound, there are always naive Taiwanese people who believe whatever the mainstream media is feeding them. In contrast, there is a growing number of critical thinkers in Taiwan who have started to follow news from alternative news outlets on the internet. And many of these people believe Ko Wen-je is being unjustly persecuted. Throughout this video, you can see how much Taipei had developed during Ko Wen-je's 8 years as city mayor from 2014 to 2022. He championed positive change in the organizational culture of city government. He has definitely rocked Taiwan politics and made his opponents worry. Perhaps that's the reason why he's been targeted and treated so unfairly. Watch this video to learn more about Ko Wen-je.